I'm Alicia,
I'm Abbey,
and this is
Mystic's Guide to the Universe, your guide to practical spirituality.
As you all know, because you've been on this journey with us for a while, opening the door to your spiritual path can let a lot of things in that you don't expect. And we have definitely had a lot of very strange experiences, and we're going to talk about those. And we're also going to talk about the people that we've met along the way.
Some more unique than others.
Yeah. Since we've opened this current space that we're in a much more visible area than we were in the last space. And that has definitely opened us up to a lot of very interesting walk-ins, a lot of very interesting people that have come in for a multitude of reasons to share their stories with us, to come in for spiritual advice, to ask us questions, for assistance in spell work and witchcraft.
And some people just want us to hear their crazy stories.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There have been people that have come in literally just to tell me, hey, I know we've never met before, but I got abducted by aliens last night and I just need to tell you about it. And every single time I am sat, I'm like, yes, please. I want all the details. Let me get you a pen and a paper so you can draw what this being looked like. I need to know every single little detail. And I would love to say that I think that they're completely crazy. That would be a lie. I'm fully invested in their story, and I am choosing to believe every single detail. But as we know, because we've talked about it multiple times, I love believing in all of the scary things and all of the creepy things, and Abby has to ground me and let me know that
sometimes it's just the heater moving the curtain.
Yeah, sometimes it's just the heater moving the curtain in a hundreds-year-old hotel that is famously haunted. Yeah, sometimes.
It's not famously haunted.
They
just have a lot
haunted.
of dead people on the walls.
Yeah, because a not haunted hotel would have a lot of dead people on the walls. I have had a lot of very interesting experiences, especially as of late. And I'm curious, I am always the one that has the paranormal experiences, and it's so weird because it seems like every single time I have a paranormal experience, it's in an environment where like you were supposed to be there, but then you didn't come. And then I have this like crazy experience with the people that did come and you miss it. And so I'm curious.
I'm sure that's what happens. I'm sure I just missed it.
Listen, I have people that can back me up on this. People that don't believe in the paranormal. Well, people that didn't believe in the paranormal until they met me.
That's why I don't go on ghost hunting stuff though, because if I'm there, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, well, we've always said, we have said from the beginning that you are the blocker. You block things.
Yeah, outside of myself too. I just shut it down. I'm like, I'm here. Don't screw around. I'm done.
So I'm curious, have you ever had an actual paranormal experience?
So there was this one time that I recovered those antique chairs.
The ones that are back there?
Yeah.
Oh, my antique chairs.
Yes.
I don't know this story, do I?
Yes.
This is when I was opening my last location.
Yes. So I helped you recover those antique chairs. And that night when I went home, a light fell out of my bathroom fixture. It had like unscrewed itself and fallen, but instead of falling on the counter that was directly below it, it fell on the floor. And so I had to cleanse my house and of anything that might have been in there.
Yeah. And that's something that had never happened before, and it hasn't happened since.
No.
Yeah.
No. And it didn't even fall on the counter. The counter was right below it. It fell over and to the left. And it was like a ghost had unscrewed it and thrown it on the floor because it didn't burst.
We saged those chairs after that, right?
We saged those chairs before I started working on them, but then we never saged me.
Oh, yeah.
And I brought it home with me.
Yeah.
And that was the only time I have ever had an experience in my home.
What about outside of your home?
Outside of my home. Honestly, no, that weird stuff only happens to you. And I think it's because you're open to it and I'm not.
Oh, I'm so open to it. I want more and more and more. I want to experience more. And I know a lot of people think like, oh, well, you're looking for it. You're looking for it so you can make anything seem paranormal. But then when I have people there to back me up and say like, okay, like with you, there have been a lot of times with you where I'm like, was that paranormal? Or like, what was that noise? And you're like, that's literally our water machine that's been out in the shop for a year. It makes that noise all the time. And I'm like, that was different. Or you're like, no, there's literally like a squirrel on the roof. Like I think you're gonna be fine. Um, and so I need people to be that person for me. But then there are people who have met me, who have been to my home, who have traveled with me, and they're like, okay, listen, weird shit only happens when I'm with you. And clearly the common denominator here is you.
You're a lightning rod.
Yeah,
You attract it.
I do. And I want it. Like if I could put a satellite on my head to attract more, I would. I want all of it. I don't let it in my home. My sister, who doesn't believe, well, I think she believes, but I think she doesn't believe in the way that I believe about the paranormal. My sister and I shared a room when we were kids. And so, like, weird stuff would happen. Mostly stuff would happen to my mom in my home growing up. Then my sister and I, we moved out. We each got married, moved away. My sister came and spent the night at my house after I bought it. And she said that she saw a full man, a shadow of a man walking down my stairs. She was sleeping in my living room. Walk down my stairs, look at her, walk up the stairs. And there was no man. It was just me and my sister there. She was like, okay, like something weird's going on. I have had paranormal experiences my entire life. And I can't even really remember what my first one was. But I've had a lot over the past couple years that have been very interesting. Our job is paranormal. Anything that we do in the name of spirit, in the name of witchcraft, technically would be paranormal. So I think we should definitely talk about those things too.
So what should we talk about next? The Nigerian shaman, which that's not the appropriate word. They're not shamans, but they serve a shaman-like function. Or the lady with the fly. And that's all the context I'm giving.
Ooh, okay. I feel like the Nigerian shaman is a bigger story, so let's start with the fly lady.
Okay. This was a you thing, so you go ahead.
Okay, so this woman came in. She's now a client of Abby's.
She was a client of mine already.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, she'd already come to me for a reading.
Oh, so this woman came in and she had good energy. Like the minute she walked in, I looked at her and I said, "You're a witch." And she was like, "Yes, I am." She said, "That's actually why I'm here. I'm having a problem with another witch and I need help with some protection." So I was like, "Okay, well, tell me a little bit about what's going on." So without giving away too many details, she said that there's this witch who is watching her. And anytime she calls in this energy, a fly is near her and it buzzes around her head and it's watching her. It's literally like a fly on the wall. And when she started talking about this, keep in mind, it's probably late October, maybe early November. It's cold outside. Our doors and windows are all shut. There's no way a fly could come in. All of a sudden, this fly starts buzzing around her head. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. Anytime she stopped talking about him, we started talking about something else, the fly would go away. Anytime she started talking about him, the fly would come back. And at one point, it perched on her shoulder and listened to an entire conversation. Never once landed on me, never once buzzed around my head, never bothered me. It would only come buzz around her head, perch on her shoulder when she was talking about this energy that she needed help protecting herself from. The weirdest part about that, a lot of times with spirituality and a lot of times with like paranormal stuff, things can start happening and you can kind of make up a reason for it. But oh, this is a sign from Hecate, or this is a sign from Apollo, or this is like whatever. This is happening because of this paranormal thing. The reason this experience was different for me was because she came in, told me about it before it happened, and then I watched it happen. And that was the weird part for me. If she would have just come in and there was a fly buzzing around her, she's like, "Oh, this is this witch that's watching me." I'd be like, "Okay, crazy lady." But that's not what happened. She told me about it and then I watched it happen.
Didn't she kind of like tell it to leave and it would do what she said?
Well, when it started buzzing around her, she was like, "Shoo fly, no fly on the wall." I don't know. She had like some little incantation that she said, and then the fly did kind of go away for a little bit and come back. But anytime she brought his name up, he would come back. And I wouldn't see him anywhere else.
Didn't it land on her?
Yeah, it perched on her shoulder.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, and listened to an entire conversation.
Bizarre.
Yeah, it was weird. And I just love when stuff like that happens because it's just a nice confirmation that, okay, there is something else out there. It's not just the things that we can see and understand. There's more. And I just love having that feeling. And I've had that feeling quite a bit in my life. So I'll let you talk about the next one.
So we had a client come in, and when they came in the first time, they asked Alicia to do something against our code.
Mm-hmm.
And you said absolutely not. And so they left with a different spell. And then they came back the month later, spoke with me. When they left, I was like, okay, we need to do this ritual. And so we did a cord cutting to cut away this energy or any spell casting or anything that was negatively impacting the people in this person's life. And so unbeknownst to me, this person had pissed off a high-level Nigerian witch.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar to a shaman, very similar to a witch doctor. Now, we went to do the cord cutting. And because this person had included so many other spellcasters, we had to do a pretty intricate cord cutting, and we always do it with fire. So once it finally started to burn down, the candle representing them went all the way down and then suddenly split into two flames, an inch apart.
Yeah.
One of the flames was still lit on twine, and the twine was burnt, like burnt. I don't know why it was still burning. It didn't make any sense.
No.
And then the little stump of a candle was still burning. And I looked at it and I said, Alicia, doesn't that look like a chicken claw? And you said, oh, I forgot to tell you, they pissed off a Nigerian witch. And I said, what? By the way, this flame was double the height of her candle's flame.
Yeah,
it was this crispy, burnt piece of twine that for whatever reason was burning twice the height of any other candle on the board.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked just like a chicken claw that was accusingly pointing at somebody.
At the candle.
Yes. And we were not the only ones there, by the way. This was witnessed by a third. It became clear that this person had put some sort of spell on the client. And we decided on the client's behalf to try and douse this spell. So we took one of the little candle dowsers and we set an incantation, held it over the flame. Smoke started coming out from underneath of it.
So we're like, yeah, cool.
Yep.
It's extinguished.
And we lifted it and it was extinguished for about 2 seconds. And then it lit up.
I get chills just talking about it.
Yeah. And so we were like, oh, well, shoot, let's try it again.
Did you just feel the temperature in the room plummet?
A little bit.
I
have goosebumps now. I'm cold. My shoulders feel tense. So we try to put it out again. Same thing. Smoke comes out. We lift the little extinguishing thing and the flame is out for about 2 seconds and then it flares to life again. This makes no sense to any of the three of us who are standing there. And Alicia and I look at each other and realize this is not something we are going to deal with. Not our magic, not our monkeys.
Mm-mm.
So we decide to just let this Nigerian witch have the client. You know, we're going to protect the other people in the client's life, but at a certain point, when you cheat a high-level witch, you're going to deal with some consequences.
And just for some context, this person paid this Nigerian witch half up front, and then they were supposed to pay half when the spell was done, and they never ponied up the last half, and that is what caused this.
Yes. So we said, okay, we'll just try to put it out one more time. So we did. Same thing happened, and then it flared to life twice as big as it was before, and we said, we're done. And we said, okay, thank you. We respect you. We remove any meddling of your spell. Like, we remove ourselves from the situation. We remove ourselves from this client. Just allow us the freedom to walk away from this client and do what you need to do. And then we doused it again, and it did not light back up. It was satisfied.
And we have not heard from this client since.
And we do not plan to.
No. But, I mean, we were hearing from this person
a lot.
I was hearing from them daily for about a week.
Nope. So, yeah. So with that, we said, please take this person out of our lives. And since then, crickets.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a weird one. And I love when there's other people that aren't, I mean, you and I see weird shit like this all the time, right?
Yeah. But she hadn't our third person hadn't seen
No.
stuff like this, and she was weirded out, and it was kind of satisfying to be like, see, we're not that crazy.
Yeah. That was a fun and interesting. And I mean, there's always like those moments in circle and during witchcraft class and like during our coven meetings and stuff where everybody has the same experience. Everybody feels like the connection of, we did a weaving ceremony. I think, was it for Samhain or something? I don't know, but we did a weaving ceremony and we wove all of our energy together and we could all feel, it was like we were all spiderwebbed together by energy. And
Yeah.
it was such a strange feeling. So there's always stuff like that, like stuff in ritual that happens that is wild. It's always nice when there are other people around, especially people who haven't experienced this very often, or people who are inherently like debunkers and they experience it and they're like, yeah, I have no explanation for this. This is something weird and paranormal. And just like, I have a friend she's a little bit older, and I was up at her house and I was outside. She was walking her dogs and I was just standing there talking to her. And we saw some big bright light in the sky. And it's almost like it saw us. It's almost like it was kind of scanning over us and it saw us and it was like, okay, I'm zoning in on them. And it started to like descend from the sky right over us. And it was getting closer, maybe bigger. But I mean, if it was getting closer, it looked like it was getting bigger. But it started to like descend upon us. And as we were standing there in the driveway watching it, I was like ready. I was like, yes, I'll come get me. I want to see what's out there. I want to see what's going on. Please come take me.
You're that group on the movie Independence Day who was standing on top of the tower holding signs like, take us, and then they got vaporized.
Yeah, but who knows what happened after they got vaporized? They could have gotten...
They did.
Yeah, but maybe they got just...
Nah.
I think what happened was...
In that movie, they did.
Well, good thing movies aren't real. But what? I was ready. I was like, please take me. My friend grabbed her dogs and ran inside and said, take her. And that was in an area that I have seen. I have seen so many paranormal things in that same area. And it's right by the water. It's right on Lake Huron. And we know that there are sirens in Lake Michigan. There have been so many Lake Michigan siren sightings. And you cannot convince me that there are not sirens in Lake Huron as well. Because I have seen, with my own eyes, twice, I have seen a siren. I have heard sirens probably 3-4 times. I've heard sirens in Lake Huron. And when we had retreat up there, a bunch of our girls heard the sirens as well, the same time I heard them.
'Tis true.
And we were in 2 different houses. I was in a house, I was 2 houses down from the retreat house. And the next morning, I'm like, oh my God, you guys, did you hear the sirens screaming last night? And I think, like 4 of us were like, oh my God, yeah, I heard it.
Never me, though.
But to be fair, you sleep with headphones on during retreats.
I sleep like the dead during retreats. I do.
Yeah.
I'm so ready to go down by the end of the night.
And I'm not. I'm buzzing and I'm just like ready
and I went down early this last time.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were all up watching a movie and I was like, screw this, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I've seen sirens. In that same area, I saw what can only be described as a fairy. And I had 2 other people who saw it as well. And
yeah, you were also on plant medicine?
We were not at that point.
Oh, I was going to say, I wonder if it makes it easier to see.
No, that was actually the night after. So we had had a full day of like recovery. And then it was that night. So we had done plant medicine the day before.
Have you heard? Oh, you sent me the video.
Those little people mushrooms?
Yeah.
We have to figure out how to source those.
Oh my God, we absolutely do.
It's not even psilocybin. Did you see that?
I did.
So I don't know what it is, but I want one. So also for context. Apparently there's this mushroom that they've just discovered.
I mean, it's been
around,
harvested and sold in markets on the other side of the world for a long time, but they're saying scientists are just now discovering it.
Yeah. But it's this mushroom that you eat or consume in some way, and it makes you see little teeny tiny people, like little 1-inch people running around doing a bunch of stuff, like living their everyday life, marching and dancing. And
this is a consistent phenomenon for anybody who takes it.
Yeah. It's from all different cultures, from different countries, people that have never even communicated with each other. They all report back seeing the exact same thing, and it's these little teeny tiny people just running around. I want that mushroom.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sure there's a Reddit thread or something where we can find it.
There's definitely tiny people running all over this room right now going, we're right here.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone want to talk? Are there any tiny people here?
Yes,
Did you hear that?
we're right here. Help us. Okay, so those are some of the fun examples. But you know what my favorite story to this day is? The psychic party I went with you to.
Yeah, and some of the weird shit that happens to us isn't paranormal. And this is one of those times.
Yep. So you had a psychic party booked, and you were still towards the beginning of your psychic journey. And because this was a distance away and you were nervous about going by yourself, I went with you.
And I also just had this feeling that I needed my blocker. And at that point, you had not even gone on your spiritual journey yet. Like you were starting to dip your toe in, but I knew and you knew that you could block energy like nobody's business. So I actually had you come to sit outside the door while I was doing readings and block everybody's energy.
Yep. Which turns out that was a very good thing I was doing that.
Yeah.
And to be clear, the only negative thing that happened was when I went outside for a total of 10 minutes.
Yeah. I don't even remember why I think you maybe
It was time to leave.
Yeah. But I don't know why you went out before me.
Because you were standing in the kitchen. I said, stay right here. I'm going to go take this out to the car. And that was when this person pulled you aside into their room of mysteries. And I came back and you looked so frazzled.
I know I was gray. I know I was shell-shocked, literally and figuratively.
I don't know if you can say shell-shocked literally because no shell went off near you.
Almost.
Okay, so tell them what was in the closet.
Okay, so this man, and I will say it's a man because of course it's a fucking man.
Yep.
This man he had actually called me and hired me for the event, and he insisted the entire time that he was going to go last. He was the only man there. Everybody else had to go first, and he insisted. He said, I'm going to be the last one of the day. So I do his reading. It's weird. Of course it's weird. He's talking about all of these beings that have been talking to him, and I could just tell, like, yes, I believe in the paranormal, but I can also intuitively see when somebody is just a little
kooky.
Yes. So the whole reading, I'm like, okay, he's talking to me about how the Galactic Federation is talking to him, which also, that can happen. It's not happening to this man. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So after his reading, he's like, okay, I'm going to pay you. I'm going to give you cash. So come in my room. I'm going to give you some cash. So I go into his, as you said, room of mystery. And he's like, I have to show you something in the closet. My alarm bells are just screaming at me at this point. And I'm like, okay.
And at this point, I had walked outside.
Yep. Yeah, you were loading up the car. And he goes to open his closet door. And there is this ball, this big metal ball, which looked to me like one of those shop vacs covered in foil. And it had like a big metal rod coming out of the top and then like an old TV antenna on the top. And I go, oh, what is this? And he says, this is the bomb I'm going to use to open a portal in Detroit. And I said, uh-oh. And so I look at him and I go, okay, why is that something that you want to do? And he said, well, these beings in my head are telling me that I have to open this portal. That's what I was brought here to do in this lifetime. And I said, because, sometimes you just have to match people's crazy.
Yeah.
In order to either save yourself or save the entire city of Detroit.
Yep.
So I go, oh, actually, that's so crazy because I was told that I have to do that with you. So don't do it until we talk because I have been getting these downloads and I have to tell you all of the things that they told me. They gave me very specific instructions. So you call me. You have my number. Don't do anything until you call me. And he's like, okay, good. That's why we were brought together. I knew. And now I drove, 2 hours to this event probably?
Yeah.
And he said that he looked through all of the psychics in the area and he found me somehow and he just knew that I was the one that had to come to this party. And he's like, yes, I knew that's why we were put together. So
And this place was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it was like,
That's why you wanted me to come.
yeah.
To be clear, I have never asked you to go to a psychic party with me.
You don't have crazy people. I mean, not that crazy.
That's true, because I'm just not open to it.
Right.
You're in it for the plot.
I
am not.
That's my whole life. My whole life is do it for the plot.
The universe knows I am not in it for the plot.
And I very much am. There are so many things in my life, even just in the last year, that I have done for the plot. So no regrets, because I have an invincibility complex and I know I'm going to be okay. So I matched his crazy a little bit. I get in the car. I tell you what happened. And immediately we call the police.
Yep.
Immediately we're like, yeah.
So it's probably not real, but this guy thinks he has a bomb in his closet and you should probably check it out.
Yeah. And then we found out that they did a wellness check, but I guess nothing ever really came of it. I don't think we ever really heard what happened. But there was no portal opened in Detroit as far as I'm aware.
Nope.
So that was a weird one.
It was one of the first experiences.
Yeah. It was the first experience I had with a weird client that like clearly needed some help.
So in your beginning days, was that like one of the, oh, wow, what did I get myself into moments? Or was there something else that happened in like the first 6 months?
Well, you've noticed I haven't done any psychic parties since then.
That's a good point.
I have not done a single house party since then. I'm not going into anybody's closet. I would say that's definitely one of the weirdest.
You do house parties, but you do them for friends.
Oh, I do house parties for people that I know, like my regular clients.
Clients that you've...
For sure. But I'm not doing a cold call house party like you do.
Yeah. It's always an adventure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But I'm going to trigger you with this word. I'm very blessed when it comes to... When it comes to people booking parties. I have never really had a bad experience.
I'm not sure if I've talked about this on here, but I did a reading for a woman whose husband passed. And her husband was like this big time music producer. And he came to me, we talked, and it was great. It was a great reading. And I liked his energy so much that I just forgot to get rid of it. I left work that day. I was actually driving to the school to get my kids. And I just didn't think to get rid of it because he had such good energy. So I'm driving, and after my readings, I'm sure you're the same way. I drive home in total silence. I just need silence. So I'm driving, and my radio just turns on its own. And it's so funny because the song that came on was Rockstar by Miley Cyrus, and he was roasting me. His spirit is in my passenger seat, and I can hear him in my head just roasting me. Like, this is the shit you listen to? You're listening to Rockstar by Miley Cyrus? And I'm like, dude, you fucking turn that on. So then I turn the song, and I'm like, clearly he wants to listen to music. I turn the song. I think the next song that came on was like Limp Bizkit or something like a little less offensive to his ears, apparently.
It's Limp Bizkit?
What did you think it was?
Limb Biscuit?
Like Limb?
Either that or Lim Biscuit.
No, the biscuit is limp.
No, I definitely thought it was Limb Bizkit this whole fucking time.
Have you never seen it like written out?
I don't know.
It's limp.
Peas look like bees a little bit.
No.
No, dude, I'm tripping.
No.
Are you sure it's Limp Biscuit?
It's limp.
Oh.
And I want you to guess how biscuit is spelt since we're here, since we're talking about it.
Is it Biskig?
It is not. There's a Z in there, babe.
Biscuit?
Yeah. Big time.
I only guessed the spelling I did because I thought it must be really weird if you're asking me that.
And you didn't go weird enough, surprisingly. I want you to see it. I'm going to show you.
Oh my God.
Let me just open up my Apple Music. Limp Bizkit.
What the fuck? I'm in a different timeline, okay?
Well, do you like this version of Limp Bizkit?
I have no idea. I don't know what their music sounds like.
You would hate it. So anyway, driving home, Rockstar by Miley Cyrus comes on. He's like, this is the shit you listen to? And I'm like, dude, you fucking turned this on. I didn't touch it. And so I turned the song. So Limp Bizkit starts playing, and he's chill. He's vibing. Everything's fine. I keep my phone on shuffle. I only listen to my music on shuffle because I like a little surprise every now and then in my day, right? So the next song that comes on after Limp Bizkit, Rockstar by Miley Cyrus. And I'm like, you motherfucker, you like this song. So I'm laughing. I listen to the whole song. Next song comes on, something, again, non-offensive, like Green Day or Jimmy Eat World or something. Next song that comes on after that, Rockstar by Miley Cyrus. Every other song on my whole drive for 4 rounds was Rockstar by Miley Cyrus. And now every time I hear that song, I think about him. But just like weird stuff like that, where it's just, it's paranormal. Like, I can't prove that one. There was nobody there to back it up. It could have just been a weird thing that was happening. But
I believe you.
I was having an experience, and I know that I was having that experience. But, it's stuff like that just keeps the magic alive. But I really thrive on the moments where people are with me. I'm with the coven. I'm with you. I'm with my girlfriend, whatever. And weird shit happens. Just like the other night, I was having such an awful night the other night. I was having this like argument with a friend, and I was exhausted. And I go to my girlfriend's house to sleep. We get in bed. All of a sudden, the salt lamp just turns off. So now it's pitch black in the room. Weird. Okay, we're going to leave the salt lamp off because clearly it doesn't want to be on. So we're laying there in the complete silence and pitch blackness, and it sounded like a huge book. Like, in my mind, it was one of those really big, thick Bibles from the 90s. I don't know why that's what was in my head.
Why do you keep saying the 90s?
From what I remember, there was like this trend in the 90s where people had these like decorative Bibles, and they were huge.
Oh.
And they had gold around the pages were gold around the edges. I don't know, everyone at my church had them. But in my brain, that's what fell. Out of the top of the closet, fell down one big smack on the ground. We turn on the light, nothing's there. Then in the middle of the night, I wake up because it sounded like somebody took all of the shit off of her nightstand and just swiped it onto the ground. It just sounded like so many things fell off of her nightstand onto the floor. We turn on the light, nothing's there. Nothing fell. Then I wake up in the morning. She's like, "How did you sleep?" I'm like, "Actually, I didn't sleep very well. I kept waking up because it sounded like there was a sitcom being live taped in the corner of your room." She was like, "Oh my God, I heard that too." She's like, "I got up in the middle of the night and I sat up and I was trying to figure out what that was. And it sounded like," she thought it was like Family Matters. I was thinking in my head like Boy Meets World or something. But it sounded like two people talking, having like a funny conversation. And then I heard a laugh track. And she heard the exact same thing. Now, again, she's not one to believe in this stuff. She's not in the spiritual space. She doesn't believe in paranormal stuff. Well, she didn't. Now she does. But for her to have that experience too, it's just, I enjoy sharing those experiences with people. Especially because people, I can't even count how many people have said, weird shit only happens when you're around. And that just makes me so happy. And 99.9% of the time, we weren't even doing drugs.
Speak for yourself.
When you open yourself up to the paranormal world, the spiritual world, when you open yourself up to magic, magic will find you, whether you want it to or not.
I know that I really enjoyed recapping a lot of this stuff. I especially enjoy listening to Alicia's stories because she has so many of them. As we have discussed, I do not experience anywhere near the same amount of things that she does, and I am 100% okay with that, universe. Thank you.
And the universe, if you're listening, since you're listening, I would like more. Please give me the weirdest shit anyone has ever seen in 2026. I want to be a little bit scared for my life. I want to be a little bit like, what is happening? Am I stepping into a portal right now? Am I in danger?
First of all, be careful what you wish for. Second of all, I'm just going to blanket statement all of 2026. I told you so.
Okay, fair. I don't want to actually get hurt. I don't want my life to actually be in danger, but I want there to be a moment where I'm like, what I am seeing right now is not human. What I am seeing right now is not of this earth, and I am reveling in it. It happened during the aurora. Did I tell you I saw a rake during the aurora?
Yes, you did.
Let me just do a quick little rundown of all of the things that I have seen. I have seen a rake. I have seen a Wendigo. I've seen one of those. I can't say it.
A Schmendigo.
A Winnebago. I have seen a UFO. I have seen a siren. I have seen a fairy. I have seen a man whose eyes were not human when I looked at him. It was at a gas station. I was very young, but I looked at him and I just knew looking at him that he was not. He was wearing a skin suit, but there was not a human under there. I don't even know what you would call that.
I'm sure Tyler will tell you.
Okay, I would like to know, Tyler. Please tell me. I have.
You know he listens to this. He really will.
Okay, Tyler.
You'll get a Facebook message right after this.
Tyler, Facebook message me right now and tell me what that is that I saw.
He is 100% the expert.
Okay, perfect. I have seen many ghosts, and I have experienced many unexplainable noises and things moving. And it's because I ask for it. So if you want a little bit more magic in your life, just ask for it or come hang out with me for a weekend.
And be careful what you wish for.
Wish harder.
Wish harder, not smarter.
I'm definitely not wishing smarter. Hey, here we go.
I didn't say it.
Universe, give me as many paranormal things as you think I can handle in 2026, and every single paranormal thing I see will increase my abundance tenfold. Now, I'm wishing harder and smarter.
Universe, please increase my abundance tenfold, and I would like to keep the weird scenarios to a minimum.
Every time I see something weird, Abby's abundance grows tenfold and my abundance grows tenfold.
And every time that Abby takes a day of rest, Alicia has a financial windfall.
You've just backed me into a corner because now I don't know what to root for.
Yep, I know. It's on purpose.
Okay.
I hope you get all the money whenever I take a day of rest.
Well,
I hope it happens so much that sometimes you're like, Abby, I don't want you to come into work today because I make so much more money when you're gone.
You know what does happen when you don't come into work?
What?
The fucking weirdos show up.
I know.
Every time you're not here, I have to call you with a story. Tell everybody the Kilt Man story.
Okay, so I was gone, and with zero context, explanation, or anything, a man with no accent came in wearing a kilt and just apparently walked into the door, stood in the doorway and said, I need to be hypnotized. And no context was given for that either. And Alicia had to tell him, I'm sorry, but our hypnotist isn't here and she usually doesn't do it on the weekends. And he took my card and he left and we never heard from him again.
It was very, very strange. And also, the day you were busy in a reading, this man came in and said, hey, I'm selling DMT. Would you like some? And I said, tell me more about this.
Because of course you did.
Because of course I did. Tell me more about your DMT. And he said, well, I make it in a big bucket of paint thinner. And I said, no, thank you, sir. That is not DMT. That is poison.
Yeah.
So it's just every time you're not here, the weirdos come. So maybe that's the common denominator. You're not here. The weirdos come. I see weird things and have weird experiences. I am doubly wealthy because I have a windfall and abundance, and you get the abundance. So,
yeah.
I think it's a fair trade.
I'm so okay with the level of exposure I get to the strange.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope you enjoyed listening. We really enjoyed reminiscing. Save all your weirdness for Alicia. I will be the grounded one.
Yeah. I'll take all your weirdness. If you guys don't want it, send it to me. I'll take it.
This has been Mystic's Guide to the Universe.
Stay spooky.
Bye.
Bye.
Just so you know, my facial muscles are starting to fall asleep, so don't look at my face for any signs of life.